Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid to late January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my friends. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in mid to late January. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in mid to late January. What's the vibe? What do we got going on? There we go. I'll take it. So all right. Now, this isn't necessarily like a bad card. I don't want anyone to get alarmed by the imagery of it. Like when we see Little Red Riding Hood and the big bad wolf staring her down, it's like, whoa, what's that? To me, this could just all be about focus, like focused intent, focused energy. And again, for some of you, maybe there are some eyes on. It's nothing to get freaked out about. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So again, I'm sure you could see we got Little Red Riding Hood. She's in the woods walking down the path, and we got the big bad wolf with those eyes on. Now, sure, could we take this as a bit of an energetic warning? Absolutely. But I don't really feel the need to go down that road until like we get into tarot and see what shows up. For some of you, it could just be about what you're focusing your attention on. For a portion of you, if there's certain things or behaviors you're trying to stay away from, this could sometimes represent a temptation, because like when I see that wolf looking at her, he's like tempted to pounce. So watch out for anything that might be tempting you in this time. Uh, but yeah, the focused intent, like where you're putting your energy, where you're not putting your energy, you might need to evaluate that. Like, are you putting too much focus here? You're not putting enough focus there. This can be cautionary as well. So again, I'm not going to say it doesn't come without warning. Maybe there's certain things you're dealing with where Spirit's like, okay, Libra, do what you got to do, but proceed with caution. That's something we could take from this. And then, yeah, the attention getting. So for a portion of you, even if you're trying to lay low, even if like you're not trying to put yourself out there, when I see this energy, it's like you have eyes on you for whatever reason. So that doesn't have to be a creepy thing, but we're just going to let her chill out over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Libras. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled An Explosive Return. So there was like the fire-air combo energy, which happens very rapidly. And there was this strong energy of something popping back up. So even if that hasn't happened, that's an energy that could bleed over for a couple weeks. So just watch out. The door could be open for various things to be revisited. It doesn't always have to be a person. It could be a situation. It could be an emotion. It could be a feeling. It could be a hobby. It could be a work project. Like it's revisiting. I saw something similar in Saggy this week, I believe. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get going. 3 cards for the lovely Libras. What do we have for our good friends? Thank you. Who is stressing? Who is stressing out? All right, so we got the 8 of Swords. Okay. And now, normally I love an action card in the first spot, and this is like the anti-action card. That energy seems a little wound up for one reason or another. Let's get a couple more. What do we got here for Libra? 7 of Swords. Okay. I mean, the element you could work with, I could tell you that, as far as the element goes, but it's very sword heavy this week, Libra. Remember, this could be someone else's energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be, all swords right across the board. Luckily, that's your power element. But we got the Page of Swords, talk about somebody with eyes on. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But yeah, first look, first glance, I always look at elements first. It always informs us about how the energy is flowing, or the areas of life that could be like taking center stage in this time. And all swords right across the board. 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, Page of Swords. Now, as a lot of you probably already know, Libra is an air sign. Swords are the air element. So you're comfortable in this energy or working with it. And when I see a lot of air, it, it is a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you. Like when there's all air, that's like a lot of air. And that could be focused on the mindset. It could be focused on the thought processes. Usually, when I see a lot of air, it's more about the logical mind, the pragmatic mind, the strategic mind. It could be extremely intelligent, very smart. It could talk about information, taking in information. Watch out for information overload when there's so many swords here. Um, it's smart and it's strategic, but the only downside I see to so much sword energy is sometimes it could be a little detached, right? Like sometimes it could be a little cold and distant. So we're going to want to look at this quite a bit. And then, like with the emphasis on swords, sure, could it be a communication? Possibly. But like there's this real focus on the mindset that I'm picking up. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Eight of Swords. Now, as you can see there, it's not the most calming type of piece of imagery, right? We see the lady, she's bound up, she's got a blindfold, hoodwink on her eyes, surrounded by these swords. So this card does have some challenges. And I always say with all challenge cards, it's a spectrum. So for some of you, this could be like a very quick passing thing where it doesn't even bug you that much. That's the positive to air energy, is that like it comes and goes just as fast. So this could just be a flare up of some kind. When I see the Eight of Swords, I do think of stress. I do think of anxiety. I do think of overthinking. I think of someone that's in their mind quite a bit. So maybe you need something to help get you out of that space. So whether it's creativity, whether it's certain activities, whether it's physical activity, this energy is like trapped in its own head. Now, again, it could be somebody else. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, but it's trapped in its mind about something. This card can also represent cabin fever, where it's like, I feel cornered. I feel cornered, trapped. So we do want to look into this further. Now, the good thing about the Eight of Swords, it's not permanent, right? Like notice this lady here, she could free herself at any moment, right? She could grab one of those swords and cut those ties and take the blindfold off and then go. So like for some Libras, there could be relief for something that's just like a short shift away. This is a problem or situation that can be solved quickly. So not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like very much focused in the mind, which I feel I saw for you a couple weeks ago. It's kind of showing up again. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Swords. And we see our little sneaky pal here. He has the fez on his head and he is making away with all those swords. So, obviously, there might be a couple warnings here with this card. Now, it's not all bad. I will say this, the positive aspect of the Seven of Swords, it could just represent something that's not on your radar, something that you don't quite see, something that you don't quite realize, a missing piece of information. That could be it. But the downside of the Seven of Swords, it's something or someone that you should probably be a little bit cautious about. This energy could be secretive, it could be deceptive, it could be a little sneaky. Like this is a card that could represent thieves and not so trustworthy individuals. So is it something that Spirit's trying to warn you about? Is it something that Spirit's trying to have you to keep an eye on or keep a close look at? Possibly. But can it also just be something that's harmless that you don't see coming? That could be the case too. It really depends on what your situation is. Now, moving to the back end, we have a card that could be really good here, depending on what clarifies all this. We have the Page of Swords, and a lot of you know this is called the Watcher of the Tarot deck. So it does somewhat fit this theme of that very first card that we had. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. Now, since you're an air sign, this card represents air signs. It's one of your power cards, believe it or not. The good things about the Page of Swords. It's great for learning things, taking in information. Remember, all pages are students and they're also messengers. So could this be a conversation? Could this be a message? Absolutely. But this page, compared to all the other ones, is a little more defensive. Notice this one has its guard up. It's got the sword up. So whether this is advice from Spirit or how you might be acting, maybe you do have your guard up for one reason or another. Nothing wrong with that. But it is the Watcher of the Tarot deck. And whenever I do see it, it's telling us a couple things. Either one, maybe something or someone's got eyes on you. Maybe there's something you're keeping a very close eye on, or this could be Spirit asking you to keep a close eye on something, especially since this page is looking right at all of this. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Libra. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Libra friends. What's happening? What are all these swords about? And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message. which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Swords. See what's up with that. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Eight of Swords here? Cute. Feeling stuck. I was getting a very similar thing. I think it might have been the Gemini reading. So when I see the Eight of Swords, which is trapped, and the Seven of Pentacles, that is also trapped, watch out for your energy levels first off, because one thing I'm getting here is like I feel tired. So make sure you're getting the proper rest and relaxation. Cards almost jumped out of my hands too when I was saying that. So there's just something here about feeling tired, feeling exhausted. That's just a small message for some of you. But Eight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles is like, well, what can I do? If there's like some sort of acceptance here where there's like, all right, well, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. The energy does feel a little stuck. Now, again, I'm not saying it to you. Could it be a memory or something that's on your mind? Absolutely. There is this like walls closing in, trapped type of energy I'm picking up this week. Now, we're going to see if it resolves throughout the whole reading itself. Um, Another portion of, yeah, when I see the Seven of Pentacles, it is one of the karmic cards. Usually it's very patient. So when I see it in reverse, underneath this Eight of Swords, it's wanting something or wanting to do something but not being able to. So that might be someone you're connected to where it's like they want to do something or they might want to say something, but for some reason their hands are tied. That's another thing I'm picking up here. So let's keep going. We're going to keep moving. Very specific. So again, watch the energy levels. This is an energy that does feel very tired, maybe even a little exhausted. But let's keep going. And notice we got the double sevens now. So there's a lot of themes showing up here this week. Let's see what's up with the Seven of Swords, though. I really want to see how these two shake out. So why is the Seven of Swords in the mix? Thank you. Maybe this is a good thing. Okay, we got the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. I feel very skeptical. I feel very cautious about it. You ever hear the phrase like, "If it's too good to be true, it probably is"? That's part of what I'm feeling from this. But at the same time, I don't want to say like, "Oh yeah, no, I have a weird feeling, so I'm just going to discount all that." The Ten of Pentacles is usually a very, very good, very, very positive, one of the best in the whole entire deck of like expansion, wins, victories. It could also represent the home and family and stuff like that. So when I see the Seven of Swords, could this be a win or a victory that comes out of the blue? For some of you, yes. Maybe it is a surprising or unexpected win. That could possibly be it. We'll see when we get over here. But at the same time, my spidey senses are tingling. My spidey senses are tingling. So, like, when I'm seeing this page, watching all this, it's like, all right, that looks good, but I'm unsure. So, if there's like any person, any situation where you have like a seed of doubt that keeps like scratching at your brain, there's a reason for it. So, this could be a warning about a potential individual. We'll look and see, like, is Spirit trying to warn you about a person? Is Spirit trying to warn you about the world in general? Very possible. Because I'm getting this look before you leap type of energy. It's like, all right, well, if you're going to do something, make sure you're very sure. Make sure you do your due diligence. I feel like I'm getting too specific. We're just going to keep going. So again, for some of you, could be a surprising, unexpected win, but at the same time, for another portion of you, I think there is someone or something, especially if you have those seeds of doubt, that you should be very cautious with, especially going back to what we had here in the very beginning. Okay, well, we're going to go in on the Page of Swords. We're going to see. I mean, for some of you, this energy could really work out well. Watch money. Yeah, watch your money. Watch work politics as well. Like, there's a lot of funkiness here. But let's see what's up with the Page of Swords. Pardon me. Temperance. Observe. Okay. So there is some beautiful spiritual protection around you. That's one thing I will say, because we have Temperance in the upright, the Archangel Michael, the defender. So you know how sometimes things or synchronicities happen and they happen for a reason, or it's like you don't understand why something happened the way it did. For a lot of Libras, there could have been something in the short past, the short-term past, where it's like, it might have seemed like a negative, but in reality, Spirit might have been protecting you. But for another portion of you, there is something where Spirit wants you to just observe for now. Uh, Either that or there's someone like observing you. Like it could be any, it could be all, it could be both, right? Page of Swords with Temperance, it's like I'm just going to sit back and watch. I'm going to sit back and keep my eye on this for now. There will come a time for action, but that time might not be right this second. So there is something here about gathering information. Gathering information. It feels like surveillance to me, to be honest with you. So again, I'm not sure if that's you, advice for you, what someone's doing towards you. Like this energy's sitting back for the time being, gathering information before it makes a move. That's the big vibe. So your readings in a lot of different places, but the one thing I can offer you with this card and some of the karmic cards, like there is a beautiful air of spiritual protection around you, but there is also this energy that I think you should be very cautious about, especially if you have that little gut feeling. And this could be something that hasn't even popped up yet for some of you. So we do have some warnings here, and I would take them seriously. Um, it's not the worst in the world, though. So let's go through. Let's give you a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, yeah, there's some funkiness in the vibe, but it's all good. If you look here in the box position, number one, we have the Eight of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles, and this energy just feels tired or exhausted to me. I'm not saying it's you, it could be someone else. It's like, I'm just tired. Feels like it's spinning its wheels, where it's like I feel a little stuck on something. Um, so just watch out for anything like that. It could be something very minor. Uh, it's definitely in its mind. That's another thing. And there were some other messages that came through. But moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles. Looks good. For some of you, maybe that is an unexpected or surprising win. I'm not going to discount that completely. But at the same time, if there is anything or anyone or any situation that's like planted that seed of doubt within you or makes your spidey senses tingle, take that as a serious warning. Because it's like, this looks good, but I'm very unsure about it. So just be cautious in this time with anything, especially money and work related stuff. Onto the back end, we have the Page of Swords with Temperance in the upright. So beautiful spiritual protection, even though we have warnings and some funkiness. But at the same time, it feels like surveillance to me. So I'm not sure if someone's like clocking you, keeping an eye on you, or if this is spirit saying like, all right, just watch it for now and gather information, because that's the big thing I'm picking up here. I'm gathering information before I act. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the lovely Libras? Please. And yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to be sure, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out. What do we got? Quick, super quick. Yeah, Seven of Swords again. Seven of Swords again, which was like a pretty big thing attached to the warnings within the reading this week. And I'll show you. See this person making away with the swords, even in the shadows. So again, like I would trust your gut, trust your intuition about something. So whether it's for good, bad, or indifferent, whether it's like don't trust this, but trust this, just there's something here about your gut intuition that you really have to trust. Now I will say this: the Seven of Swords is a common card to see in the shadows because it's shadowy by nature. So I do see this in quite a few different readings when it shows up. But the fact that it showed up here in the center, especially be careful with money, be careful with work politics, and anything, especially anything surrounding material abundance or material items. Okay, like there's something really strong here. Um, if I could pull a silver lining, if there are certain things you're going through where like you don't have all the information or you have a lot of questions or you're unsure or you feel confused, sometimes spirit likes to keep us in the dark for a time until we could fully integrate why. Okay, so I don't know if that helps anybody. That might even sound more frustrating for some of you. But this energy here, just be cautious and gather information. So we're going to leave it at that, Libra. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or if you'd like to see what 2026 has in store for you, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The January schedule's already up, so you could go check it out and see what's available. It's going quick, but for the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's absolutely adorable and is great for readers of all skill levels. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments from today's reading which card spoke to you the most. Even if the reading didn't quite hit, which card was giving you those warm and fuzzies or really caught your attention. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.